The Death Guard Legion is undeniably captivating, with its distinctive battle tactics, complex history, and eventual downfall. Yet, my sentiments toward them remain conflicted. Personally, my disdain for Mortarion and his reasons for betraying the Emperor and the Imperium taints my perspective. While I acknowledge that many of the traitor Primarchs might have had justifications for their actions, Mortarion's betrayal feels particularly unjustifiable to me. His eventual demise, orchestrated by his favored son Typhon while he himself was committing treachery, presents a poetic irony that's hard to ignore. However, my grievances with Mortarion don't extend to his sons, the Death Guard, who are the focus of today's discussion. In truth, I can't help but feel that the Death Guard deserved better, a more honorable Primarch, a more hopeful fate. Yet, in their loyalty to their Gene Father, they sealed their own tragic destiny. Today, let's explore the grim demise of the Death Guard, once known as the Dusk Raiders, in their more glorious days. The Dusk Raiders trace their lineage back to the tumultuous era of the Unification Wars on Terra. Stemming from the robust and martially adept clans dwelling on the islands of Old Albia, they were among the first Space Marine legions to be raised. The Gene recruits for the 14th Legion primarily hailed from these fierce Albion stock, renowned for their resilience and combat prowess. Such was their suitability for induction into the Legiones Astartes that they also provided recruits for other notable legions like the Night Lords and the Iron Hands, albeit to a lesser extent. The significance of recruiting from Old Albia extended beyond mere militaristic advantage. It served a dual purpose for the Emperor's grand design. Firstly, it diverted the strength of a region that, though now aligned with the Imperium, harbored deep-seated historical mistrust. Old Albia, once a potent rival to the Emperor's unification efforts, had to be strategically neutralized. By integrating their finest into the legions, the Emperor ensured their loyalty and prevented internal threats to his regime. Secondly, the assimilation of Albion martial traditions and bloodlines into the Imperial forces was essential. These traditions, honed over centuries of conflict and conquest, had previously dominated vast swaths of Terra, including the defeat of the Pan-Pacific Empire under the despotic rule of Nathan Doom. The Emperor recognized the invaluable resource inherent in the Albion warlords and soldier scientists. By bringing them into his fold, he not only gained formidable warriors, but also erased potential adversaries. Despite initial resistance, exemplified by the Albion's confrontations with the Emperor's Thunder Warriors, the Emperor opted for negotiation over outright conquest. His vision of a united humanity, freed from the shackles of tyranny, resonated with the warlord clans. Through peaceful means, the Emperor secured their allegiance and cooperation, a testament to his persuasive prowess and foresight. The integration of the Albion clans into the Imperium was transformative. They became staunch supporters of the Emperor's cause, contributing their warriors and closely guarded secrets. Most significantly, they sacrificed their sons to become the first Space Marines, laying the foundation for the 14th Legion, later known as the Dusk Raiders. The Dusk Raiders swiftly adapted their tactics to mirror those of their Ironside forebears, utilizing heavy infantry tactics with a stoic temperament that echoed their Albion heritage. Their resilience in defense and ferocity in attack earned them a fearsome reputation among their peers. They adopted the ancient Albion practice of launching major assaults under cover of night, exploiting the confusion and shadows to devastating effect. Such was their prowess that foes facing the Dusk Raiders often faltered in their resolve, knowing the relentless onslaught that awaited them. Yet, despite their aggressive nature, the Dusk Raiders adhered to a code of honor, honoring terms of surrender when deemed appropriate. As they fought tirelessly during the Great Crusade, the Dusk Raiders remained without a Primarch, fostering a sense of self-reliance and pride within the Legion. Their eventual reunion with Mortarion, their long-lost Primarch, however, was not the joyous occasion many had anticipated. Instead, it cast a shadow over the Legion, heralding a period of change and transformation that would ultimately give rise to the Death Guard, sealing the fate of the once proud Dusk Raiders. In the decades following their renaming, the Death Guard tirelessly served the Great Crusade under Mortarion's command. Their fleet traversed the void, never resting, but continuously waging war in a relentless pursuit of humanity's liberation. Under Mortarion's guidance, the Death Guard's creed evolved, centered on freeing mankind from oppression at any cost. Mortarion's leadership style was marked by strict discipline, although he maintained a distant demeanor towards his sons. Nevertheless, they revered him and adhered zealously to his teachings, seeing in him an opportunity to continue their development. Mortarion aimed to mold the Death Guard into resilient and adaptable warriors, specializing in durable weaponry and mass infantry formations. Despite criticism from some of his fellow Primarchs, Mortarion's tactics proved effective, earning the Death Guard numerous victories. His gene seed endowed his sons with remarkable hardiness, further enhanced through rigorous training regimes. Recruits from Mortarion's homeworld of Barbarous bolstered the Legion's resilience, allowing them to operate in hazardous environments and employ unconventional weapons. Despite their successes, the Death Guard's efforts often went unnoticed by the wider Imperium. Mortarion's loyalty to his brother Horus overshadowed his allegiance to the Emperor, leading to a sense of underappreciation. Additionally, their relentless focus on strength led to a disregard for those deemed weaker. This, combined with their widespread use of phosphex and radioactive weaponry, alongside the use of biological agents, would earn them a horrible reputation among the other legions. Decades of unrelenting warfare wrought profound changes within the Death Guard Legion, gradually erasing its Terran origins in favor of Barbarous's grim, martial ethos. Under Mortarion's influence, the Legion's power armor shed its adornments, adopting a somber hue with murky jade markings reminiscent of Barbarous's swamp mud. Terran martial customs were discarded, including the disbandment of the Librarius, due to Mortarion's aversion to psychic abilities reminiscent of Barbarous's dark past. Mortarion meticulously reformed the Legion, from tactical doctrines to recruitment practices, with Barbarous becoming the primary source of new recruits. Despite suggestions to euthanize or relocate the remaining human population of Barbarous, Mortarion insisted on their inclusion, viewing the planet as a hard-won home for his people. Former human warriors of Barbarous rose to prominence as rulers, while the strongest among them underwent conversion into Astartes, embracing the high mortality rate as a sacrifice for serving Mortarion. Barbarous evolved into a recruitment hub for the Death Guard, with intake from other sources dwindling as the Legion's strength relied increasingly on Barbarous-born recruits. The Legion's gene seed enhanced the resilience of its Barbarous candidates to extraordinary levels, altering the Legion's composition over time. The Terran contingent, though outnumbered, remained stalwart, preserving the traditions of the Dusk Raiders amidst growing tensions with the Barbarous-born Astartes. These tensions escalated prior to the Horus Heresy, as Mortarion identified a sizable portion of the Legion as potentially loyal to the Emperor. Many of these loyalists hailed from Terra, including Battle Captain Nathaniel Garrow, whose allegiance to the Emperor outweighed his loyalty to his Primarch, setting the stage for the tragic events of Istvan III. Mortarion held steadfast to the belief that victory lay in enduring resilience, a philosophy Horus, the War Master, astutely utilized to forge an efficient combat alliance between their legions. Collaborating closely, Mortarion's Death Guard would systematically wear down their adversaries, setting the stage for decisive strikes by Horus's lunar wolves. As their collaboration deepened, whispers circulated among the ranks, insinuating that Mortarion's loyalty to Horus eclipsed his allegiance to the Emperor himself. This speculation gained traction as events unfolded during the tumultuous days of the Horus Heresy. When Horus embraced chaos, it required little persuasion to draw Mortarion and his Death Guard Legion into the dark embrace of treachery. Mortarion's profound respect and trust in Horus, cultivated over years of war and shared purpose, overshadowed any lingering loyalty to the Emperor. The Lord of Death had found a kindred spirit in the War Master, someone he could trust implicitly amidst the chaos of galactic conflict. However, Mortarion's fall to chaos was not solely a consequence of his bond with Horus. First, Captain Callus Typhon, Mortarion's trusted lieutenant, harbored clandestine allegiance to the ruinous powers long before the seeds of heresy were sown. Typhon, with his subtle manipulations and dark influence, orchestrated the corruption of the Death Guard, gradually leading them down the path of damnation. During the events at Isstvan III, Mortarion revealed his true colors, callously sacrificing potentially loyal elements of his legion to Horus's machinations. It was a stark display of allegiance to the War Master, overshadowing any lingering loyalty to the Emperor. Subsequently, as the traitor legions descended upon Isstvan V for the infamous Drop Site massacre, the Death Guard fought alongside their corrupted brethren, their loyalty firmly entrenched in Horus's cause. As the traitor forces set their sights on Terra, fate intervened in a most unexpected manner. The Death Guard fleet, under the influence of Callus Typhon's dark machinations, became trapped in the Immaterium, plunging them into a nightmare of despair and decay. In a desperate bid to escape their torment, Mortarion and his legion willingly embraced the twisted love of Grandfather Nurgle, the chaos god of decay and pestilence. Their transformation was swift and devastating, as the once proud warriors of the Death Guard were twisted and corrupted into grotesque plague marines, forever bound to Nurgle's service. Emerging from the warp, the Death Guard were unrecognizable, their once gleaming armor now warped and pitted with decay, their bodies infested with pestilence and corruption. Mortarion himself underwent a profound transformation, ascending to become Nurgle's greatest demon prince, the Prince of Decay. Leading his corrupted legion into the heart of the Eye of Terror, Mortarion claimed the Plague Planet as his new domain, ruling over it as Nurgle's chosen champion. The Death Guard, now fully devoted to their patron deity, embarked on a crusade of ruin and sickness that would echo throughout the galaxy for millennia to come. In examining the Primarchs and their legions, it's often evident that the presence of their fathers brings about significant improvements. This transformation is notably visible with figures like Fulgrim, who revitalized a legion that was once fractured and dwindling in numbers, or Sanguinius, who steered his legion away from a path of unrestrained violence. Few Primarchs, however, seem to have the unfortunate effect of worsening their legion's condition. Angron, for instance, was subjected to cruel experimentation and the implantation of the Butcher's nails against his will, leading to his subsequent mistreatment of the World Eaters. Similarly, the Night Haunter's descent into madness and his haunting visions of bleak futures explain to some extent his erratic behavior. Mortarion's case stands out starkly against these examples. His betrayal of the Imperium lacks compelling justification, and his actions, including the systematic dismantling of his legion's identity and values, are reprehensible. The Death Guard were a formidable force long before Mortarion's influence, and his actions diminished them, reducing them to his own standards. I believe that the Death Guard suffered betrayal twice. Firstly, at XIVth III, where loyalist elements within the Legion were annihilated. Secondly, they were ensnared by Typhon into a fate of eternal damnation within the Sea of Souls, a fate they didn't deserve. But where do you stand on this matter? Do you believe the Death Guard warranted their fate due to their betrayal of the Imperium? Or do you see them as victims led astray by their father? Share your thoughts on the Death Guard in the comments below. If you found this discussion engaging, remember to leave a like and subscribe for more content. Have a fantastic weekend, and until next time, take care.